Well, next, how Luton Airport is recruiting plane spotters as extra anti-terrorist security outside of its perimeter fence.
550 members of the aviation enthusiasts group have already signed up to the scheme, which allows them to watch planes land and take off and report anything suspicious in return.
But as Kate Prout has been finding out, they're not the first to adopt the idea.
10 million passengers pass through Luton Airport every year, watched closely by enthusiasts known as plane spotters.
Initially, after 9/11, they were seen as potential security risk, and then it was perceived that actually airports around the UK, there was probably more aviation enthusiasts than police.
Most days you'll also find spotters outside the American air bases in our region. Take Mildenhall and Lakenheath, where they'll be watching the refuelling strato tankers, the F-15 fighters, and any visiting planes land and take off.
0455, Golf Zulu.
Among the group outside Mildenhall's perimeter today, Richard Thomas from Hitchin, who helped set up the Luton Airport scheme.
Airports have a perimeter fence, some of them 10 miles or more long, and it's impossible for the authorities to police them continuously, so at least we're there keeping our eyes open.
Both Mildenhall and Lakenheath have formed good relations on both sides of the perimeter fence.
We have the base police's telephone number, and from the outside, if we see anything suspicious, we phone it in straight away.
You probably guessed, we don't miss much at all.
But spotters haven't always been so welcome. 12 plane spotters, including Leslie and Paul Coppin from Mildenhall, were arrested and jailed in Greece in 2001, accused of spying outside an airbase. They were later released. Many enthusiasts in Suffolk today, most with their own surveillance equipment, are now signed up to the Spotter Watch scheme.
It works rather like a neighbourhood watch scheme. It also allows us, because we know who they are, if we have any reports that there are suspicious people outside the fence, we can very quickly go and establish if they're members of the group, that they're actually friends, and we don't have to waste unnecessary time checking on them.
Happy to continue with their hobby and provide another layer of defence against a potential terrorist threat. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Mildenhall in Suffolk.
Not just a thing, are they? Now, seals are quite a common sight on some East Anglian beaches, but would you know what to do if you found a seal pup alone on the sand? Rescue it or leave it there?
Well, in our latest update from ITV Fixers, 2 Norfolk teenagers plan a new campaign to help would-be rescuers do the right thing.
My name is Lucy Yates. I'm 18 years old and I live in Hunstanton.
And my name is Elliot Pocklington. I'm 18 years old and I live in Kings Lynn.
We both work at Hunstanton Sea Life Sanctuary, and our job involves rescuing seal pups all along the east coast of the UK. We work very closely with the pups through the rehabilitation stage to hopefully be releasing them back out into the wild.
Milo, you're leaving today?
Milo is one of our rescued seal pups, and she was found by a group of research scientists just off the east coast. She had a few cuts to her mouth and around her face as well, probably by another dog or a seal. And that's the reason why we brought her in, and she is due to actually be released today.
Milo was one of our lucky pups that we rescued, as she desperately needed our help. But 9 times out of 10, most pups don't really need to come back in, as they do rest along the beach and come out of the water.
Our ITV Fixers project is to create a poster to make people aware of what to do when they find a seal pup on the beach. The worst thing you can do is try and approach it and rescue it yourself. If it has a human scent on it, the mother will never take it back, and it'll be very difficult for us to release back into the wild. The first thing you should do is contact a local seal sanctuary or an RSPCA station and try and get someone who knows what they're doing to assess the situation.
To help us with our project, ITV Fixers has contacted a photographer from Sheffield, Paul Hobson, to help us to come up with some good ideas of what images to use on our posters.
The picture has got to be very eye-catching, it's got to arrest people's attention, it's got to make them suddenly look at it and go, I want to read more. And often, an image that has a lot of power is eye contact images. They sort of look at it and think, that animal's looking straight at me, and it sort of makes them want to look further. Nothing ever beats the R factor. The cute images really do peel people in. So seal pups will always do really, really well. So these two here are just that little bit of... See?
It's hopefully the last time Milo will ever have to be on a boat.
Yeah.
We're taking Milo off to Seal Sand, which is a sandbank just in the wash where there's lots and lots of grey and common seals. The seals are very resilient animals and they're quite social anyway. They're more the merrier for them. And this is where we're going to be releasing Milo in a few minutes. And you can see there's a lot of seals out there. There's quite a few pups as well, so hopefully she'll fit right in.
Bye, Milo. She's gone. I'm really upset. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that's what happens if you don't get return tickets.
When they go back, it's nice to see them back into the wild where they should be. And she's still popping up there.
Yeah, I'm very glad she's free. Free at last. Free. But she's going to have to catch all her own fish now, so it's a bit of a shock trying to find...
As well as the poster campaign, we're also hoping to get into local schools and help raise awareness about the seal pups on the beach to local children.
We hope our project will cut down half the amount of phone calls we get from the public. As seals do come out to rest on the water, not many people know that, so if we can get that message across to the public, it will be fantastic for us.
Lucky Milo. Oh, he's right about the cute images. It's those eyes, the big eyes.
I know it is. I bet Milo's catching a tea right now. Well, for further information, visit itvfixes.com/Anglia, or you can call 01223 65515. Now, that's a non-premium rate call, and your network operator rates will apply from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles will be considerably more.
Please seek the bill payer's permission before you phone. Lines close on the 31st of December. Calls made after that won't be answered, but you may still be charged for them. Now, few can deny that Ronnie Barker was one of the finest comic actors in British history. Born in Bedford in 1929, he had a career that spanned over 50 years.
Well, at the height of his success in the 1970s and 80s, he was prodigious, appearing in a variety of roles, from the tight-fisted shop owner Arkwright in Open All Hours to Norman Stanley Fletcher in Porridge.
But it was as one half of the comedy duo, the two Ronnies, that really brought him fame and fortune. And today, a statue was unveiled in his memory in Aylesbury.
It's not often that a statue can produce smiles and applause, but such was Ronnie Barker's comic genius that even his image evokes memories of a time when he brought laughter into millions of homes across the country.
4 candles. Well, there you are, 4 candles. No, 4 candles. Handles for forks.
It flowed out of him quite naturally, as indeed it flows out of Joy. Joy is the same, and Larry, the son, it's all in the genes.
Foreign Hills, you made me laugh. Yeah.
Well, you were in the theatre, Joy, weren't you?
Yes, we met at the Arts Theatre, Cambridge. That's
and
when you first made me laugh.
Right.
Born in Bedford, it was in Aylesbury that Ronald Barker began his career more than 60 years ago. Even his job title then seems to suggest humour was going to play a strong part of his life. Assistant to the assistant stage manager on £2.10 a week. But of course, it didn't take long for the entertainment business to realise the talent that was Ronald Barker. Ronald soon became Ronnie, and the rest, as they say, is history. Or should that really be hilarious?
No, O's. O's? Well, oh, you mean pantyhose? Pantyhose? No, O's. O's for the gate. Mon repose. O's. Letter O's.
The two Ronnies ran between 1971 and 1987 in 12 series, with the vast majority of material written by Ronnie Barker, and its impact was incredible, with audiences of between 15 and 20 million regularly tuning in.
I was a bit surprised that it was Fletcher I saw, as I was expecting Ronnie B as Ronnie B, but Ronnie B would always rather not be Ronnie B if he could be somebody, you know, like Fletcher or Open All Hours man, or, you know, he would always like to have a little disguise of some sort on.
The desire to only perform at his very best resulted in Ronnie Barker's decision to retire at the age of 58, although he did make occasional appearances right up to his death in 2005. He appeared as 100 characters. In private, he was quiet and extremely modest. His statue, a further reminder of a comedy great.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night now. Good night.
Just brilliant stuff, wasn't it? Absolutely lovely.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite goodbye from him and goodbye from me. Before that, here's a look at what Alistair and the national team have for you in the rest of...
But before that, Amanda is here. We were saying before, September here, been really soaking wet. It
wet,
must be
wet.
Wet. It must be the wettest September ever.
Well, actually, that's where you're wrong, because September, I know...
Not the first time, right? Yeah.
has actually been drier than normal. We've had 55... Normally, we'd have 55 millimetres of rainfall, which is nearly 2 inches, whereas we've had 52 millimetres, so actually a whopping 3 millimetres less than what we'd usually expect. But there's certainly some rain on the way to start the new month. Let's take a look at the details.